for the High Wednesday. With news on 103.9 WYAB, I'm Chris Davis. Jackson's latest murder victim hasn't yet been identified publicly. He was described as a black male shot in the passenger seat of a car, which was driven to Ridgeland Drive about 2 Sunday morning. Police are not sure who the killer is, but the driver of the car was arrested on unrelated charges. That guy is watching a tornado churning through Gaucher, damaging an apartment complex, some condos, ripping through a restaurant, and damaging houses. The Jackson County Emergency Management Team is still looking at all the damage. Several cars were broken into in the parking lot of Puckett High School Friday night, says the Rankin County Sheriff's Department. Some people did have some things stolen, but the cars were left unlocked. The Sheriff's Department says, lock your car when you leave it. The person responsible, according to deputies, was arrested in Newton. When the big red sign said stop, and they didn't. The 911 call Friday night about 8:30 told Carthage police about a Toyota Camry that not only ran a stop sign, they took the sign with them.
With a gray Toyota Camry, ran a stop sign.
That officer caught up to the car, which sped off, leading police on a chase that went through the town square and back out to Old Canton Road.
So that car was going to be wrecked out in a yard. Looks like they hit the house.
The car wrecked into a house, as you heard. An ambulance was needed, and the person driving eventually went to jail. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions.
Yes, you are tuned in to the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 103.9 WYAB. It's Monday, everybody, the 27th of October, 2025, and I'm happy to be here, proud to serve. Every day is a holiday, every meal's a feast, every paycheck's a fortune. It's a great day to be here. You are tuned in to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We are streaming on Rumble. We are streaming on X. We are streaming on YouTube. And we are streaming at WYAB.com. If you can pick up the radio signal, that's great. But if you can't, I understand. That's okay, too. You can always pick up the stream. Would appreciate that. You can follow me on X. Clay and I had a great discussion on X, and we're actually going to use that as the program unfolds today. But if you want to follow me on X, the number is Andrew, or the name is just Andrew Gosser, ANDREW GASSER. The phone number to today's show is 601-879-0002, and the text line is open, and there are a lot of texts, and there's so much good information coming in there via like YouTube and Rumble and streams. I necessarily can't bring them into the program right away, but I do read them, and I try to time in when I can. But that text line is 601-879-5060. The mission at the Andrew Gosser Show is standard. We're here to equip the saints. Who are the saints? You are. We're doing so with gentle answers, turning away wrath, trying not to spit any harsh words, but we will spit the truth. Always planting seeds, not necessarily worried about who's watering them, because I know who's giving the increase. And the only place to really start is, hey, this Wednesday, October 29th, 5 p.m., Old Miss, Oxford, Lafayette County. I said it right. My Lafayette County people will be happy with that. Turning Point USA. The Vice President of the United States is going to be there along with Miss Erica Kirk. We're continuing the mission. Charlie Mike, as we say in the military. His name was Charlie Kirk, but we're Charlie Mike. We're going to continue to do that. Hopefully you got your tickets. It's going to be a great event, and looking forward to seeing so many of you up there. The Sweet Bee and I will be up there. Some friends will be up there, and I really hope we not only recharge and connect with the vice president and Miss Erica, but we reconnect with each other and get a game plan going for 2027 and 2028. And everybody's like, "That's so far away." I'm telling you, if you're not planning now for that, then you're wrong, and you're failing. And great job to Jacob Lawrence and his crew getting Ole Miss ready for this big event. It's going to be a legitimate good time. Looking forward to it. Sweet Bee has been to a few political events before, and she's going to continue to be indoctrinated into this crazy life that we now share with the politics and whatnot. But I definitely wanted to make sure that I talked about that. And then we're just going to start. I went through, and with my show prep, I tried to look for local things and positive things. And people might not think this is positive, but it's certainly local. And it allows me to pontificate a little bit about the importance of running for office at a lower level before you go big. And here's why. Trump endorses Easel's midterm reelection bid. Congressman Mike Easel with President Donald Trump, February 2025. Photo from Mike Easel on Facebook. And this is coming from Magnolia Tribune, Frank Corder doing the reporting. And I don't know what's happening down South Mississippi. I don't, District 4 is not my district. I'm District 2. So that's where I primarily pay my attention to. But if you're not happy as a conservative with Mike Easel, your mission just got a whole lot tougher. Because when the Don goes ahead and endorses you, it's normally pretty tough. President Trump rolled out a slew of congressional endorsements over the weekend, with Mississippi's 4th District Congressman Mike Easel among the lot. Trump said the Republican congressman is a fantastic representative for the wonderful people of Mississippi's 4th Congressional District. The former sheriff of Jackson County and now a highly respected U.S. congressman. And it goes through to all of these showering accolades and pageantry and happenstance that is American politics. The one thing I do want to say here is Easel won his first, and I hope I'm saying it right, Easel, Mr. Congressman. I just have my national disclaimer for butchering names. It just is what it is. Easel won the first term in 2022, defeating then incumbent 4th District Congressman Stephen Palazzo in a GOP primary runoff election. And, 2022, people were moving and grooving back then, trying to go ahead and put some new people into Congress. And we should continuously do that. I got to meet Palazzo back in 2010 and 2011, 2014, when we were working on Space Launch System and SpaceX with the Falcon 9 commercial crew and cargo. And with him representing the NASA site down there, it was just one of those things I had to talk to him about it. But Trump is out there now, starting to endorse for 2026. So pretty much all of the work that is going to be done for this Congress is done. We'll continue to go through. We'll continue to go through the budget fiasco, the government shutdown. Things are going to continue to happen as far as that's concerned. But 2026 is officially off and running with President Trump going out and endorsing people. And I don't know how people feel about Mike. I've met him. Seems like a nice guy. I'm always upfront and cordial with all of y'all, telling you the truth. I am not necessarily plugged into my Mississippi congressman because mine is Benny, and I'm genuinely focused on trying to do something there within my lifetime. I realize this is like a 4-year plan, maybe a 6-year plan, but it takes time, and you just can't sit there and flip a congressman seat or even a state rep or a state senator seat. It takes time. It takes planning. And you just do not want to go into that haphazardly, because if you do, you're going to lose. Of course, Clay's kind of talked about it. We've talked about it in the third hour, the crossover hour, as I'm calling it. The EBT shutdown is rapidly approaching. The USDA to suspend food stamps and benefits as federal shutdown continues. This is continuing to come from the Magnolia Tribune, and I will always try to promote our local news sources, even the ones that I don't agree with, because local is better. We shop local, we eat local. We should try to get our news local. And this is coming again from Magnolia Tribune, Jeremy Pitari. Unless a resolution is reached in the halls of the U.S. Capitol this week, families in Mississippi and across the nation who rely on food stamps will not receive SNAP benefits for the month of November. This is a big deal. 40 million Americans. Let me take that back. 40 million people are on SNAP and EBT. How many of them are actual Americans? We don't know. We do understand that there's a large population of people who do use SNAP and EBT who are not legal U.S. residents. They are not legal aliens. You can be an alien here and be legal. Got your visa, and you've got all your paperwork filled out so that you can participate in this wonderful experiment that is an American democracy, the American Republic. We are a republic, but people trying to call it democracy, I get sucked into that. We're a representative republic. We should always continue to call it that. The Mississippi Department of Human Services said Friday that the prolonged government shutdown is to blame. The state agency issued a statement alerting recipients that the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, that benefits are not going to be issued on November 1st. And this is where I'm reaching out to everybody in my audience and just saying, look, do what's best for your family. I am not going to be sitting there around any shopping centers or restaurants over this weekend. And, as long as I feel that it's not a good idea for me to be there, I'll go get my shopping done this week. You'll never know it. And we'll just see what happens. I am genuinely concerned about it. If you go look at Blue TikTok, they're talking about looting stores and they're going to eat. And I have no doubt that as we lose food, don't have access to the food because they don't have money, I think the food will actually be there. I just don't think the money will be there from the end users to grab it. Unless you're hooked up and you're already taken care of. We'll see what happens then. But as for me, I'm not necessarily too worried about it. With my family, as my family's concerned, we're just going to be backed off on the farm, enjoying the sheep. It was a great weekend. Telling Clay about it a little bit. Sometimes when you get stuff done on the farm, it just feels happier. And I know that we had some strong storms and some tornadoes down south yesterday, and we're definitely praying for their recovery. But I'll tell you what, that rain hit the farm. Grass started immediately greening up. Sheep get happy. The chickens are happy. The turkeys are happy. The dogs are happy. Sweet Bee's happy. Toots is happy. Life is pretty good. It was a great weekend. We're just getting started here on the Andrew Gosser Show. We're going to take our first break, and when we get back, we will continue with the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 103.9 WYAB.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB. Antique Mall of the South has 14,000 square feet of pristine, clean floor space. Home to beautiful, timeless antique treasures. Antique Mall of the South is open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. Check them out online at antiquemallofthesouth.com or go to the Antique Mall of the South Facebook page. You can also read the dozens of 5-star reviews online. Come see for yourself at Antique Mall of the South in Ridgeland. Now open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. That's Antique Mall of the South, Highway 51 in Ridgeland.
Shopping for eyeglasses shouldn't be scary. Don't get tricked into spending your hard-earned money at those insurance shops only to be ghosted after the sale. I've heard the horror stories. Come to iGear Optical and treat yourself to quality eyewear, sweet pricing, and personable service after the sale. We fit eyeglasses to you, your lifestyle, and your budget. iGear Optical, 2630 Highway 80 East in Pearl. Follow us on Facebook and find us on the web at iGearOptical.com.
Hi, this is Lee Atkins of Home Care Plus in Ridgeland. We are a proud carrier of Abena Premium Incontinence products. Abena has the most absorbency available, making changes and leaks less likely. After 7 years as a seller, I can tell you these products are amazing and worth every penny to quality of life for patient and caregiver. And we ship all incontinence products as well. So please come see us at Home Care Plus in Ridgeland for all the incontinence needs of you or your family member. That's Home Care Plus in Ridgeland.
Whether new construction or remodeling, Stephen Arrington and his team at Elite Custom Construction can design and build your dream kitchen and cabinets, inside and outside. Using high-quality products, Elite Custom Construction specializes in cabinetry and intricate millwork. Established in 2011, licensed and insured, Elite Custom Construction is your solution to your next project. Call Stephen at 601-927-0552 or visit them online at elitecustomconstruction.net.
Why don't you mind your own business?
Mind my own business? What's that supposed to mean?
No, I was just thinking about all of the news of tax changes, insurance changes, regulations that are being passed down to business owners. I don't have the time to keep growing and to keep up with changing payroll regulations.
I know. It seems like all I do is handle employee-related problems.
You know, I hear People Lease can help.
How can they help?
People Lease can handle our payroll, taxes, employee benefits, and workers' compensation. They even offer an affordable and customizable 401k program and a 24/7 online human resources support center for all my HR needs.
Think of all the time we'll save letting People Lease handle our payroll and benefits administration. I'll be busy growing my business and letting People Lease take care of the rest.
Sounds like a good business plan with People Lease.
Let People Lease mind your business so you can mind your own business. Call now 601-987-3025. That's 601-987-3025. Or visit freepayrollquotes.com for your free quote.
Whether new construction or remodeling, Stephen Arrington and his team at Elite Custom Construction can design and build your dream kitchen and cabinets, inside and outside. Using high-quality products, Elite Custom Construction specializes in cabinetry and intricate millwork. Established in 2011, licensed and insured, Elite Custom Construction is your solution to your next project. Call Stephen at 601-927-0552 or visit them online at elitecustomconstruction.net.
On Sunday, November 2nd, join us for a festive celebration at Green Oaks' 65th Christmas Open House. Entry is free. Bring the whole family for a day filled with Christmas cheer. Shop Green Oaks' exclusive Christmas collection. Enjoy delicious food, door prizes, and special discounts on store merchandise. It's a day of family fun and festive cheer that you won't want to miss. That's Green Oaks' Christmas Open House on Sunday, November 2nd at 5009 Old Canton Road next to Palm Bridges Park from 12:30 to 4. Follow us on social media at Green Oak MS or visit us online at greenoakms.com.
And we are back here in the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 103.9 WYAB. Getting ready for the next segment, and this just showed up in my inbox from one of the texters, and I'm grateful for it. This is coming from the Daily Mail. Urgent warning to Gmail users as 183 million passwords are stolen in data breach. Here's how to check if your account is affected. This is coming from the Daily Mail, published at 7:28 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 27 October. So that's today. And it's a big deal. 183 million passwords. So if you've got a Gmail, you might want to check it out. It says Australian cyber expert Troy Hunt, who revealed the incident, called it a vast corpus of breach data, which totals 3.5 terabytes. That's 875 movies on DVD. That's a lot of movies, man. And according to Mr. Hunt, all the major providers have email addresses in there. So it's not just Gmail, but it's Outlook, it's Yahoo, it's others too. I put this on my X account, so if you want to further look into that, you can. I did check mine, and I'm luckily good to go. But that's pretty frightening to think that there are 183 million emails just been hacked like that. Just boop, not good. As we continue to, this was a big deal to me, and hopefully it's kind of a big deal to you. As many of you know, I served in the Navy for almost 10 years. I loved it. Did three cruises in the Navy, and then almost a full one as an Air Force guy too on Nimitz. And one of the things that I am very grateful for is that we never lost a plane in the squadron. We never had a bad day while I was there, thank God. But there were people out there who did experience bad days, specifically VA 85, the Black Panthers, A6 Squadron. I don't mean to pick on them, but it just seemed like every deployment we had, whether it was a workup or a main deployment, that they were having a class alpha. They were losing an airplane. They didn't lose anybody, but they were always crashing. Well, Navy had a bad day yesterday. 2 U.S. Navy aircraft go down within 30 minutes apart in South China Sea. Trump says the back-to-back crashes are very unusual as he embarks on an Asia diplomacy tour. And I have to say that back-to-back crashes like that are very frightening. It does sometimes happen. Like I said, it never happened on my ship, but I know on some of my friends when in the squadrons they were in, they actually had to deal with something like this. Two U.S. Navy aircraft have gone down within the South China Sea. President Trump described it as the back-to-back crashes as very unusual. And they're basically thinking that it might be something to do with the fuel. The first aircraft that crashed was the MH-60R, which is a Seahawk helicopter, search and rescue helicopter. That one went down in the waters at about 2:15 in the afternoon local time there, and they were able to be fished out. Nice thing about a helicopter is if you know you're going down, there's a pretty good chance that you can land it, quote unquote, safely in the water and then ditch. But the Navy sends you to school to where you have to punch out of a helicopter and you get dunked upside down and twisted, and you've got to get out of there. And they train for this. Just 30 minutes later, at 3:15 p.m., a $60 million FA-18 Super Hornet also crashed. And surprisingly enough, I found out now both of these aircraft were on the Nimitz. So, yeah. And I know we've talked about the Nimitz on the show before because it is the oldest aircraft carrier now, and it's going to be extended, and people are worried about it, but it's going to be all right. But 30 minutes later, a Super Hornet crashed. It didn't say whether it was a two-seater, so it was a F-18F Super Hornet Rhino. The Seahawk was assigned to the Battle Cats of Helicopter Maritime Strike Squadron 73, and the Super Hornet was part of the Fighting Redcocks of Strike Fighter Squadron 22. Gotta love the Navy and their heritage. It appears as though everybody's been picked up and is safely accounted or is all accounted for. I just want to make sure the two crew members, everybody was safely recovered. The F-18 Super Hornet dudes ejected. Martin Baker test flight patch. Congratulations, you get a watch. I'm glad that I'm not part of that group, but I'm grateful that you are and that they're all going to be okay. Look, military aviation is a lot of fun, and I enjoyed the mess out of it. I enjoyed fixing F-14s. I enjoyed putting new things on F-14s. I enjoyed flying AWACS and flying the backseater of a F-16 and an F-15. And it's a lot of fun. But there's a very serious side to this too. And you are having the ability to operate some incredible equipment. It's so much fun, but it's very, very dangerous. It can be deadly. And 1 minute you're thinking everything's all right, and 30 minutes later you've got 2 airplanes in the drink. I'm sure the admiral, the captain, and the air boss were just like, "What the Charlie Foxtrot is going on?" Not good though. And we can talk about the Nimitz too for those who are interested. I know that we were talking about could it make another deployment? It has plenty of deployments in it. It's just a matter of do we want to invest the other resources to keep everything else going inside Nimitz? I do think it's going to be extended to two deployments too, because Enterprise is behind schedule, John F. Kennedy is behind schedule, and the Ford. Well, it's the Ford. I often wondered how they picked up the name of Ford for aircraft carrier class. I understand the Nimitz class, but I would have thought they would have went with something different. But what do I know? All right, more local stuff. Mississippi's today's take on the SNAP issue is very different. And I really appreciate the photo that they use because as we start to talk about the EBT and SNAP program, we're going to find out that it's buying a lot of food that is not good for you. And thank you to Mississippi Today. They have pictures of shelves there with Armour Vienna sausages, hot and spicy. And then they've got another one, barbecue flavor. They got a price tag on there too. See if I can read the price on that. $1.59. Mississippi Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program is being paused because of the federal government's shutdown, the Mississippi Department of Human Services said Friday. No new SNAP benefits will be issued for November unless federal guidance changes. This is something that is not being talked about with the SNAP and EBT issue that I think we should talk about, and that is buying healthy food, good food. You're sitting there and you're buying the ramen noodle. And look, those of us who went to college or, were living tight, we understand living on ramen noodle for a while. I think every Gen Xer has done it at least once in their lifetime. And by living on ramen noodle, I'm saying you've lived on it for more than, we'll say, 10 days. More than a week. You got to do 10 days ramen it up at least twice a day. It's just, it is what it is. It'll get you through, but it's not necessarily healthy or nutritious. And a lot of this SNAP and EBT food, not healthy and nutritious. And this really goes into depth about how it's going to hurt so many people. But what's not being talked about is how we have taken a program that's supposed to help people eat, stay full, be healthy and nutritious, and be nothing more than 20 or 30 pieces of silver to keep you stringing along, to keep you in control of the government program that is EBT and SNAP. It's what it is. New work requirements for SNAP are slated to fall into place next month as well as a result of federal budget law that President Donald J. Trump signed in during the summer. Work requirements already exist, but the law increases the upper age limit on those from 54 to 65 and extends the requirement to those previously exempt, veterans, those facing homelessness, and young people aging out of foster care. There's still a caregiver exemption, but parents must have children younger than 14, down from 18. And they are trying to take care of the veterans. We'll see what happens. I genuinely have not necessarily really put too much fear into this. I've worked through a government shutdown before, haven't been paid on payday. And, that's why you have savings accounts. That's why you plan for this kind of stuff. And should I not be paid on the 1st of November, which I'd be fine with, I have other things going on, but should I not be paid, I still have enough money left over to pay my bills for more than a year. And people will say, "Oh, Andy, you're bragging about it. You, not everybody could do that." Actually, you could. I come from a single parent family, a mom that worked 3 jobs, no dad. And I understand the value of hard work and squirreling stuff away. And that's what I did. And I pray to God that if you haven't done that, that you start teaching your kids that right now. Man, that's a whole nother segment. We should do some financial education later on this week. We'll do the rule of 72 and how important that is. Maybe we can educate some people. I'm gonna write that down right now. Rule of 72. Yep, that's a good one. Lots of anxiety over SNAP. And I can't say that I don't have empathy for people who rely on it, but it's going to come to a point where we're going to find people looking for work, looking for anything to help get with food. And 40 million people inside the United States of America use this SNAP and EBT. You're listening to the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 103.9 WYAB. We will be right back.
Here to 103.9 WYAB.
Fox News commentary with Guy Benson next.
Feel that chill in the air? Now's the perfect time to layer up. The outerwear shop is now open at Untuck It with sharp new jackets and vests made for this season and beyond. You'll find all the right layers to keep you warm and looking sharp, including cozy sweaters, sweatshirts, and more. But hurry, fall weather won't wait, and neither should you. So don't miss the outerwear shop, open now at untuckit.com in more than 80 stores worldwide. Untuck It, shirts designed to be worn, untucked.
Here's Guy Benson.
We are into this Schumer shutdown, a partial government shutdown that has been caused entirely by Democrats. Now, some of them are pretending like they don't really know how the system works. Oh, the Republicans control all of Washington. How can this be our fault? And of course, they all know the true answer, which is you need 60 votes in the U.S. Senate to pass bills like this because of the filibuster, which is a tool that the minority party has. Democrats pretend to hate it when they're in the majority, but when they're in the minority, they cling to that power as their leverage. That's the point of the filibuster. Both parties seem to warm up to it. And because the Republicans do not have a filibuster-proof majority, they need a handful of Democrats to vote with them to reopen the government.
For more commentary like this, go to foxnewspodcast.com.
This Nissan was taken to a shop preferred by the insurance company. This repair took several weeks and cost over $20,000. This car came to Clinton Body Shop for a post-repair inspection. We found dangerous, substandard repairs and parts that were paid for but not installed. The insurance company bought this car from the owner. Have you used an insurance preferred body shop? If you have, call either Clinton Body Shop for a post-repair inspection. In Clinton and in Richland, we work for you. We take pride in perfection.
UrgeVet Emergency Vets Madison has been serving your pets for 5 years now. From late night emergencies to weekend worries, we have been here caring for your pets when your regular vet isn't available.
From the moment you walk in the door, our team of veterinary professionals is here to care for your pets at all hours of the nights, on weekends, and holidays. Located at 15 Olympic Way in Madison. Call us at 601-790-1918. UrgeVet, always here when your pet needs us most.
Business owners, tired of drowning in payroll, compliance, and back office headaches? ePolice has your back. ePolice can free you from the never-ending grind of employee administration, such as time and attendance, onboarding, background checks, even business insurance. While you focus on growing your business, ePolice handles the paperwork. Stop stressing and start succeeding. Partner with ePolice, locally based in Ridgeland. Visit ePolice.com and get back to business.
Hi, folks. Kim Wade here. Mississippi Energy Services provides generators. That's right. You may not need it now, but when you need backup power, you need a backup power generator from Mississippi Energy Services. Never again have to worry about being without heat, air conditioning, or all your frozen items spoiling because your energy was lost. You got backup power now, and it's so reliable. You'll be pleased with Mississippi Energy Services. Online at msenergy.us.
Green's Tire and Auto on Ridgewood Road in Ridgeland can do it all. Is your check engine light on? Take it to Green's. Air not blowing cold anymore? Take it to Green's. Squeaky brakes, bald tires, misaligned front end? Take it to Green's. Green's Tire and Auto can do it all. Your car can operate just like new again when you take it to Green's. Green's Tire and Auto, Ridgewood Road in Ridgeland. Take it to Green's. 601-957-0201.
Oh, yeah, you are back, tuned into the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 103.9. Let's go to the phones. Go ahead, sir. You're on the phone.
Why you can't hear y'all on the air?
Wait, say that again?
Why you can't hear y'all on the air? Y'all towers down or something?
As far as I know, the tower is up and locked, loaded, ready for launch. And I'm looking out here and I can see...
you can't pick you guys up on the FM dial.
You know what? I will text Matt and let him know. And in the meantime, if you can't hear us on the FM dial, you can listen to us on Rumble, YouTube, or X. And I'll let Matt know. And I really appreciate you calling in and letting us know that the signal is weak. I really appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Wondering if other people can't hear, but I'll definitely let Matt know that real quick. So, publisher's note: leading like a woman. No good comes from everyone acting like a man. And I agree with that. Let's see here. We got another phone call. Go ahead.
Hey there. I'm at County Line and State Street. I hear you loud and clear.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate that. County Line and State Street. I appreciate it.
We got you, Jax. All right, take care.
Yep. What a great group of people we've got listening to the show. We've got great people, and definitely we'll see what's going on with the strength of the signal. But I want to get back to this publisher's note because it's important that we hold people accountable and to the same standard. No good comes from everyone acting like a man. I agree. So women, don't act like men. Leading like a woman. How are you leading? Are you leading like Joanna, a Martha, a Mary? I really struggle when people, especially on the other side of the aisle, tell me that men are bad and women are the way to go. Because lest we forget about what the Democrats think about women.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No,
Yeah,
I can't.
you can't?
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe the meaning
biologist.
of the word woman is so unclear and controversial that you can't give me a definition?
Senator, in my work as a judge, what I do is I address disputes. If there's a dispute,
There's no dispute, and it's really easy to tell them between a man and a woman. It takes all of about 0.2 seconds for an adult male or an adult female to figure it out. There are plenty of biomarkers and indicators that indicate whether you are a man or a woman. Now, you could be mistaken. You could be mistaken. That does happen from time to time, but not all the time. And we have these women running around saying that men are bad, masculinity is wrong, and that we need to lead like a woman. And you know what? I agree. Women do lead. And the things that they lead better than men. They really do. They have all sorts of abilities and talents and skills that men will never have. They have talents and skills that men can develop. But if you're thinking just about from the nurturing aspect of it, women are much more nurturing than men. It's just what it is. Men are much more compartmentalized, square hole, square brick, push through the square hole, round brick, round hole, push it through the hole. That's the kind of, and it's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's kind of what it is. On the farm, we got to fix the fence today. Out we go. This article coming from the Mississippi Free Press, Kimberly Griffin, definitely worth the read, because they're asking for the cake and to eat it too, but they don't want to bake it. They want to buy it, but they want to buy it on an EBT card next week after the government shutdown of EBT. And this is the actual, like, Civil War, Cold Civil War, where the fight is being fought right now. Last week, I spoke to a group of students at my alma mater, Mississippi University for Women, which has been coeducational since the early 80s. My talk focused on two things that no one talks about: leadership. And I'm good at speeches. So I'm glad to see that she knows and she acknowledges that she's good on speeches. But I'm not a big fan on running monologues. That's good. She then has 4 more article or paragraphs from where she's talking about how tough it is to be a woman. Being a woman, any leadership is usually fraught. I disagree. In fact, I served under women who were colonels and generals, and while there's always situations that make things difficult, especially in military leadership, sometimes you have that life and death decision that you've got to make. And it just is what it is. I'm not making light of it or making it more serious. I'm just letting you know that every leadership position is fraught with difficulty. Whether it be putting up the new radio tower or the new antenna for our new expansion that's going to happen here hopefully pretty soon. We're going to see that happen. But those have problems. The wire is ordered incorrectly. The antenna is not the correct diameter. I mean, all sorts of stuff. And here she's making it sound like it's all about the woman, and it's not. It's all about humanity. I don't necessarily like talking about Black America or white America or Indian America or Asian America. We're just Americans. And we're just humans. Women have this blessed ability to give life to people. Men necessarily don't have that. It's innate to women. It's very special. I don't know how Ketanji Brown Jackson can't identify what a woman is or give a definition of what a woman is. But she on the Supreme Court now, and she's making decisions. It's brutal. Ladies, take the lead. While Bill Soros was our journalism professor at Mississippi University of Women, after a storied career across the South and Midwest, if you told him I'd actually be able to make a decent living with full benefits running a nonprofit newsroom in Mississippi, he would have thought he was in the dangest thing he ever heard. Actually, no, it's not. But when I read this, the thing that popped out to me was nonprofit. So I would like to see who is the nonprofit that is paying this. Wouldn't that be interesting? Maybe I'll go do that. Still, he'd be so proud of everything Donna Ladd, my co-founder, and this incredible team have accomplished. Frankly, I think about it, Donna would have probably been his favorite of the two of us. And this just goes on and on. And it's important to talk about the leadership components of stuff. But the way that a man comes to a decision and the way that a woman comes to a decision are very different things. We can all agree on that. And we have to say that we're not against men being leaders or women being leaders. We want the best people who know what the heck to do to have those jobs. And that's not what we're doing right now with DEI. Do we have enough of this type of person in this job? No, we don't. Okay, what do we need? We need one of these. Plug it in. That's why we have a lot of the problems that we do have. And I don't understand how all this flow from last week with feminism has gone into my program, but it's just what's popping up in my feed, and to watch so many people take down good leaders, whether they're female or male, because they don't necessarily have the right political leaning. That's troubling. And we should always bring that up when we can. Go ahead, you're on the air.
We should always. Hey, I'm gonna cut my radio down. Oh, hey, curious. What I caught the tail end of that. You don't go around a grocery stores or shopping centers this weekend. You think people are gonna be out there robbing, stealing people for food? And that's what come across my mind.
You've got 40 million people inside the United States of America. I don't know how many people in Mississippi are actually on it. I should know. I could probably look it up.
Mm-hmm.
But, they're not going to have access to food. And, what hasn't been seen in the United States of America is humans that are truly at the lowest form of existence, survival. And the human survival instinct is pretty wicked. And we are not prepared for if this really goes on this long. It's going to be it's going to change a lot of people, the way they view humanity, the way they view America. It's going to be difficult, to say the least.
Mm-hmm. So I agree with you. I hadn't even thought about that, and everything. But I've got something for them. I shouldn't say that. What I'm talking about, but I don't want to do that.
we don't want any violence or anything like that. That's why we're encouraging everybody to go out, get their shopping done earlier in the week rather than later.
And I agree. Look, I try to stay away from anything that looks bad. You understand?
Yep. Me too. Nothing good happens after 11 o'clock on a evening, and so I'm not out at that late at night. Now, when I was a younger man, I might have been out a little bit later, but that's all right,
Well, I work some at night, so I'll be out some, but not a whole lot. So,
well, you stay safe out there, man. I appreciate you calling
all
in.
All we do is say a prayer to the good Lord. Ain't that right?
That is a fact, my friend. That is a fact.
And put it in God's hand. God take care of it.
He will. You might not take care of it the way you want it, but it'll be taken care of, and it'll be all right. It'll work out in the end.
And you have a great day, sir. Thank you.
You too. Take care. Be blessed. And with that, we're going to take our last break of the first hour right here on the Andrew Gosser Show. We will be right back.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Here at Lake and Glass and Tint, we've become well known for two things: window tint and windshields. Now, when it comes to window tint, you already know that we're the go-to for home, car, and office. And as always, we offer free consultations. So if you're in the need of window tint or windshields, give us a call, 601-946-1000. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram or at lakeandglassandtint.com. Lake and Glass and Tint, where quality matters.
Seeing well plays a big role in helping you read well. That's why it's not a minute too soon for students of all ages to schedule an eye exam with Dr. Bobby C. Pankey and Associates in Clinton and Richland. They can also help you with a great selection of frames, lenses, and contacts, all at affordable prices. See well, read well, do well. For all your back-to-school eye care needs, visit Optical 2000 Clinton and Richland. Optical-2000.com.
Stay in touch. Follow Optical 2000 on Facebook. Bank Plus makes it easier to bank. With extended drive-through hours plus 24/7 online and mobile banking, we're here when you need us. Lost your debit card? Get a new one instantly at any Bank Plus location. No waiting for the mail. And interactive teller machines offer drive-up personal service 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturdays. Your bank, your plus. Learn more at bankplus.net. Member FDIC.
Y'all come see us at Flora Animal Hospital, your trusted hometown vet. We offer a wide variety of veterinary services, including boarding. Dr. Kaylee McCary is a Madison County native who has been serving the Flora community and surrounding areas since 2013. She leads our team of highly trained and compassionate women. We are located at 740 Highway 49 in the Cotton Exchange Plaza. Call us today at 601-879-3222. At Flora Animal Hospital, we treat your pets like our own.
Delicious food and a relaxing atmosphere combine to make the best place for sports fans and foodie fans to watch the game and just hang out. Capitol Grill of Jackson. Of course they've got the games, but food, oh my goodness. Mouth-watering po' boys, fish, steaks, appetizers, and a specialty pizza menu. Kitchen opens at 5 Monday through Thursday and 11 Friday through Sunday. And happy hours are daily at Capitol Grill. Also enjoy the all-new Tuesday night and karaoke on Wednesday and Friday nights from 8 till midnight with DJ Money Mon. Capitol Grill, DeVille Plaza in Jackson.
Looking for adventure, amazing food, and a little relaxation all in one place? You'll find it at Cypress Point Resort in Brandon. Load up the family and experience a real drive-through safari, petting zoo, and thrilling guided Jeep tours. Then slow it down with mouth-watering steaks at the steakhouse, or grab drinks and live music at the tavern. Planning a wedding or reunion? Cypress Point Resort has beautiful venues and cozy lodging. Ready for your big day or just a weekend escape? It's everything you love about the outdoors with a touch of luxury. Cypress Point Resort. Wild fun right around the corner.
For decades, you've known the name Martin's for good times, great food, and the best live music. Now that's happening at 2 locations, downtown Jackson and Livingston. Check the websites, martinslivingstonms.com and martinsdowntownjxn.com for the many special events and live music lineups. You can chill with friends on the big patio at the Livingston location and enjoy the Blue Plate lunches and nightly drink specials. Martin's, downtown and Livingston.
I'm Sheriff Randy Tucker. I've worked alongside Judge Wise, and I know she brings fairness, common sense to Justice Court. She listens, she cares, and she serves our community with integrity and pride. Please join me in making the wise choice on November the 4th.
I'm Colleen Wise. I'll keep working hard every day to ensure everyone is treated with dignity and respect while upholding the law. I'd be honored to earn your vote for Justice Court Judge. Let's keep our court conservative and consistent. Vote Colleen Wise, November 4th.
Yeah, you're tuned into the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 103.9 WYAB, streaming on Rumble, streaming on X, streaming on YouTube, and streaming at WYAB.com. We got the reports of some weak signal. People are saying that they're hearing it, some aren't. We're looking at it. I got this awesome email from Woodrow, and this is the kind of thing that I find really important, and it's how much I respect everybody here that helps me out. Basically said, I know you are not from here, but please stop saying Old Miss. It's Ole Miss. I'm sorry if the D comes through. I do know it's Ole Miss. The Chicago in me might be trying to slip through there, but I will work on that, brother. And it's awesome to always have other farmers and independent people out there who are working, having their own food security. Man, you've got a nice farm. Listen to this: 2 acres planted with fruit trees, peach, pear, plum, persimmon, fig, grape, mulberry, quincy. I don't know what that is. Chestnut, pecan, elderberry, blueberries, pawpaw, etc. I've been in a small scale beekeeper for many years. Man, bees are just the greatest. Fresh honey like that, yum. It is delicious. It is delicious. I'll tell you what, anything that you grow and that you produce, it will just always be more delicious for you. Because you put in the effort, you put in the time, you put in the energy to grow it, whether it be an ear of corn or a green bean, a sugar snap pea. The sense of accomplishment you get from growing food is very unique. I find it unlike anything else that I've ever done in my life. It's the production value of it all, the sense of satisfaction of, planting a seed and germinating a seed, which is not as easy as one would think. It's just not something you go up there and put some seeds in the ground, throw a little water on it, and let it go. There's other things that you need to do with that. So when I get letters like that and they're telling me how they're doing chickens and they've got the whole farm going, I just think that's awesome. I hope more of us are doing that, especially with everything that's going on. I do think that you might see a change in curriculum, actually. You might actually see a change in curriculum where kids are not going to be so much worried about roadblocks or some of these video games, they're going to be out there figuring out where's the best place to put down a flower bed. But instead of growing flowers, we're going to grow tomatoes or cucumbers. It'll be something like that. That's how this stuff works. First hour in the can goes by so quickly. I literally sit down and I'm like, oh my goodness, I hope I have enough information. And it just takes care of itself. Callers, you're great. We will be back in about 8 minutes for the second hour of the Andrew Gosser Show. Hang in there, everybody. Take care. Be blessed.
This is Central Mississippi's Stimulating Talk.
1039 WYAB, Pocahontas, Jackson.
CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. The last warnings are going out to people in Jamaica as Hurricane Melissa closes in. It's a Category 5 storm with top sustained winds of 160 miles an hour. It's due to make landfall tomorrow. CBS's Jason Allen is in Kingston.
Here where we are, it's protected by a barrier island where the airport is built and a causeway leading to that island. But the seas are still very high and crashing on the rocks. In the unprotected areas, the wind is significantly higher. And in those areas, the water has already been coming up, flooding some of the stands that are on the roadside. People there say they've never seen the water get up to the middle of the road, but they've never seen a storm like Melissa.
The U.S. military is maneuvering some naval ships in the Caribbean to get out of the path of the storm. Officials say a framework is in place for a U.S.-China trade deal. CBS's Nancy Cordes is covering President Trump's trip to Asia.
According to Trump's Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, he had a breakthrough this weekend in talks with his Chinese counterpart in Malaysia after months of tit-for-tat over trade and new threats being issued by both the Chinese and the Americans.
It's day 27 of the government shutdown. Food benefits could dry up within days if there's no settlement. CBS's Nicole Killian is on Capitol Hill.
I think a lot of folks out there are feeling the pain from this shutdown, whether it is people who may not get those SNAP benefits next month, workers who continue to be furloughed without pay, those who are continuing to show up for their jobs without pay. So it's a difficult situation all around, and it certainly is taking an economic toll.
Responding to White House pressure, Indiana's Republican governor has called lawmakers in for a special session next week to redraw the state's congressional districts. The state has 2 districts held by Democrats. On the Health Watch, new research finds stillbirths occur at a higher rate in the U.S. than was previously reported.
Researchers at Harvard University, including Jessica Cohen, found that 1 in 150 pregnancies end in stillbirth. The rate is even higher, 1 in 112 in low-income areas.
A substantial proportion of stillbirths that occur in the last gestational weeks, 38 weeks, 39 weeks, 40 weeks, had no identified risk factor at all.
Problems with the placenta and fetal defects are among the most common causes of stillbirths. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
Major bank deal in the South. Huntington Bank Shares is buying Cadence Bank in an all-stock deal valued at $7.4 billion.
Neurosurgeons from yesterday's
the Dow is up
counter protest decided to
257
just
points.
say the quiet part
This is
out
CBS
loud.
News.
In an interview, he declares that
Sponsored by Progressive. See
the
why
message
over
I want to give
43
to
million
people to
drivers trust Progressive
people can
to
do
stay
about
protected
it.
on the
What?
road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business
People
with a
can do
company who
about
gives
it.
back
What
to the
message
men and
do you want to
women
give to
who
the far right
volunteered
people?
to defend our
The
country.
message I want to give to the
Just
far right
dial
people is
pound
we're here to
250.
take over
Say
your
Micro.
country. You can't
With
stop
Pure
us.
Talk's
You can
U.S.
try,
customer
but we're
service team,
here
you can
to
switch in as
uphold
little as
Sharia
10
law.
minutes.
And yeah,
Again,
that's it.
dial
Do you think the
pound
way everyone has gathered to this
250,
community is the
say
right way to
Micro,
protest?
to switch
100%.
to
This
an
is the right
American
way to
wireless
protest. This is
company
you come
who
here,
actually
you
stands
gather
for
as a
something.
community, brotherhood,
News and weather brought
sisterhood,
to you
everything.
this
You come
hour
here
by
to
Flora
defend
Animal
what
Hospital,
you care about
where
the
we
most,
treat your
which
pets
is
like
the
our
people,
own. Visit
the
our
area.
website, floraanimalhospital.com.
And there's nothing the native people can do about it.
The roughest weather in Mississippi this weekend. All of the rough stuff is gone with a mostly cloudy day and a high at 72. Tonight, cloudy and 55. Tuesday, 74 with a chance for showers. Wednesday at 60. Thursday, it's 59. You've got news on 103.9 WIAB. I'm Chris Davis.
There's a tornado in the parking lot.
The parking lot he's talking about is in Gaucher, and that's where the tornado hit, damaging an apartment complex, ravaging a restaurant, hitting some condominiums, and putting several people out of a place to live. Jackson County Emergency Management says the Red Cross is helping with that, and they are still getting all the damage accounted for. A murder about 2 Sunday morning in Jackson. Police say it happened somewhere near Ridgeland Drive. The victim was shot and killed while sitting in the passenger seat of a car. He was not ID'd yet, but described as a black male. The driver of the car was arrested, but for reasons unrelated to the shooting, say police. A 6th grader was found with a pistol in his backpack Friday morning at Neshoba Central Middle School, says the district superintendent, Josh Perkins. It was a tip that led the school resource officers to search the student's backpack, where they found a .22 pistol. Perkins says in a statement that the student and firearm were both removed from campus, and the matter was turned over to law enforcement. A juvenile from Newton is under arrest for traveling to Puckett High School in Rankin County to break into cars and snag items during Friday night's game. Rankin County deputies say the people who ended up being victims did not lock their doors, and that's the advice they are giving. Lock the doors. No name released for the person arrested. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WIAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
Yes, you are tuned into the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 103.9 WYAB. The phone number, if you want to be on today's show, is 601-879-0002. The text line is 601-879-5060. Appreciate the both. I'm getting texts, emails, phone calls. Really appreciate the input. We are streaming on Rumble. We are streaming on X. We are streaming on YouTube. And we are streaming at WYAB.com. If you're having problems picking up the radio signal today, go ahead and check out our stream. We're there somewhere. You can find us. Today is Monday, the 27th of October, 2025, and we are here to what? Equip the saints. Who are the saints? You are. We're doing it by planting seeds, someone coming back and watering it, but ultimately it's God that gives the growth. And we're just talking about some really tough subjects today. And I didn't expect it to go this way, but it is what it is. And we're just going to talk about it the only way I know how, which is straight shooting, talking about it, and letting the chips fall where they may. And this is going to be tough because, quite frankly, when you start talking about what is the purpose of a religion, it can be frightening. And for people who do not understand what it is on the hill here, it doesn't look too menacing. It's like 2 days before a hurricane hits. Water's calm, everything's nice, things looks good, and then all of a sudden it hits, and we're in a mess. This was at a Sharia law protest yesterday.
What message do you want to give to the far right people? The message I want to give to the far right people is we're here to take over your country. You can't stop us. You can try, but we're here to uphold Sharia law, and yeah, that's it.
Do you think the way everyone has gathered here as a community is the right way to protest?
100%. This is the right way to protest. You come here, you gather as a community, brotherhood, sisterhood, everything. You come here to defend what you care about the most, which is the people, the area.
And no women in that video, but it is interesting that people are now becoming so boastful that they're talking about what Sharia law is. And if you do not know what Sharia law is, you should, in the privacy, without kids around, go look up Sharia law and do a deep dive into it, especially you women, you ladies out there. It's one of my more popular things that I like to say, but it's true. In the 60s, they were burning their bras. In the 2030s and 2040s, they'll be putting burqas on their grandkids and great-grandkids. That's what they're doing. I've seen Sharia law, and it's brutal stuff. You sit there and you're exposed to it, and you see what's going on. And like this stuff that I saw overseas, if that tried to go down in like Jackson, there'd be full up riots. It'd be a complete loss of control. Complete loss of control. Smokey checks in and says, Brother Andrew, isn't it crazy? 42 million people are on Snap. That's about 28 out of the 50 states. I did not know that, Brother Smokey. 28 states. Think about that. That's like everybody in Mississippi is on EBT and Snap. Maybe we can ask Grok a question real quick here. Grok, what states add up to a population of 42 million? So while Grok is working on that for me, talking about Sharia law, that just wasn't necessarily overseas. It's here too. And some of these speeches are just really tough. This is at the University of Illinois, Chicago on October 21st. So just last week.
America is the cancer. America, the American government, secularism, democracy, capitalism, these are cancers that have spread their illness all over the world. In America and in the Middle East. In America over here, people have the freedom to, again, like I said before, commit zina, do oas fahisha, but when you speak up, it's a problem. Non-Muslims are tired of this cancer. They're tired of the American government. They're tired of democracy. They want to see a new way of life. And as Muslims, we have to understand that we have that new way of life. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was sent as a mercy for all of mankind. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. He was sent as a mercy. Why? Because the way of life he brought will bring that mercy. The way of life he brought will bring that tranquility to Muslims and non-Muslims. Non-Muslims won't have to worry about these issues they worry about now. They won't have to, because Islam is a just religion that has come to be implemented upon society.
And we can go there, and I could talk about some videos that you can actually see on X where you can see Sharia law being implemented. And perhaps I bust out the Quran and quote some of this stuff. People wonder why our kids are lost and confused. They're going to the University of Illinois, Chicago, and listen to guys like this preaching non-Muslims are going to care. Good morning, Brother Eric. Non-Muslims are going to care because all of a sudden they're not going to be believing any of this Sharia law stuff, and they're going to try to implement it. And, they tried to do it in Texas. They're going to try to do it in Dearborn. They're going to try to do it in Minneapolis, and they're going to try to do it in New York. And nobody wants to go up and stand up to these people. No one wants to tell them, Sharia law is not compatible with the American way of life, and it's not. It just doesn't work here. Women should not have to wear a headscarf. Americans shouldn't have to listen to the call of prayer at 5:00 in the morning like they do at Dearborn. Maybe they stopped it. I haven't heard anything about it since. But we have examples of how our country is being attacked, not with bullets and guns and weapons like that, but through the pen and through political means. And we just have to be able to be strong enough to go out and call this stuff out. I mean, I have a 17-year-old daughter. I don't want her being subjected to anything Sharia law. Sorry. I don't. And the sad part about this is that there are points that people will glam onto with Islam, and they'll think it's the way to go. But you sit there and talk to some of these people who have immigrated to a Muslim country and have converted to Islam, and then they get back to America and go back to where they were. The stories that they tell, harrowing. It's really difficult when women are looked at as cattle, property to be tilled. I'm not even sure how much more I should go down this road, other than to say is that these two videos that I've just played for you in this first segment in the second hour today are not uncommon in America. They're not uncommon around the Western world. And by the way, while the Western world has lower birth rates, the Islamic countries are not appearing to have the same problems that the West is having with birth rates. I can't even give you an honest answer. We talk about being incompatible with the United States way of life. It's almost like we're changing the United States to bring this in instead of them changing themselves to come here. And that's where we should be citing for. That's what we should be looking for. You want to come to the United States of America because it's a better place to live. It's the best place on earth. We know this. Our morals and values tend to be pretty good. They've been waning in the last 20 years, but the world in general has gone down a dark path. Can we recover it? Can we get back to where we were? Would we even know about a lot of this stuff going on if it wasn't for Elon and X? I do enjoy the crossover hour with Clay Edwards every Monday and Tuesday, talking about stuff. I did not know that yesterday was the 3-year birthday of Elon buying X. It's not too outlandish to think that Elon Musk might have single-handedly staved off the destruction of the United States for at least a few years by purchasing X. I know a lot of you people don't have X, you don't like it, but I'm telling you that is the best place to go for unfiltered news. You might end up having to go back and look at some of it and realize it was a little bit off, but compared to CNN or CBS or ABC, there are some great journalists on X and other places too, ground news you can go to. Again, we talk about when we're looking for these stories, I always try to go local. Magnolia Tribune, Mississippi Free Press, Mississippi Today, WLBT, Jackson Jambalaya, Dark Horse Press. If I'm missing somebody, let me know. I'll try to prop them up, get that local input. But that international flavor, that national news, be really hard to get without X. Facebook, Instagram, we know that they censor like no tomorrow. And we would never hear half of these stories that are starting to come out. And it's important that we publish these stories right here on WYAB because I don't think WLBT is going to cover that. I don't think some of our competitors are going to cover that. People are wondering why Islam is rising so quick, and we won't even talk about it. When I was talking to one of my friends about bringing this up, he's like, you better be careful. I'm not being hateful. I'm just saying, playing their words. Is that compatible with the United States of America Constitution? I look at what's happening in France and in England and in Ireland, and my heart hurts. Because those countries are dangerously close to being wiped out, like completely. There's just so many immigrants who move there peacefully, and then they just like, we're claiming it now in the name of us. Tough. Deal with it. But when I saw that, I had to play those for you. I thought that was enough of a wake-up call to say, hey, this is why it's important being on the school board. This is why it's important being involved locally, because we can't expect to control what happens at the University of Illinois, Chicago. But Ole Miss, I hope I said that right, Ole Miss. Someone will let me know. But we can control what happens at UMMC. We can't control what happens at State or Rankin County or Warren County or Copiah County. I'll even say Hines County. Hines County, you're not a lost cause. I believe in it. I know it's a long shot, but it is what it is. You're listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We will be right back.
.1039 WYAB.
Your roof is constantly exposed to the elements, battling dirt, algae, and stains. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing Roof Wash Service, you can keep it looking like new. A proprietary rooficide treatment is EPA approved, safe, and guaranteed to prevent algae from coming back for at least 2 years. No harsh chemicals, no damage, no black streaks. Just a clean, beautiful roof that lasts. Call Watkins Construction and Roofing at 601-966-8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
Shopping for eyeglasses shouldn't be scary. Don't get tricked into spending your hard-earned money at those insurance shops only to be ghosted after the sale. I've heard the horror stories. Come to Eye Gear Optical and treat yourself to quality eyewear, sweet pricing, and personable service after the sale. We fit eyeglasses to you, your lifestyle, and your budget. Eye Gear Optical, 2630 Highway 80 East in Pearl. Follow us on Facebook and find us on the web at eyegearoptical.com.
You can show your pride and patriotism in honor of the 250th birthday of this great nation by proudly flying a flag. And a complete flag source on I-55 in Jackson is the place to find it. All sizes for all purposes. And they have the official 250-year celebration flag. Have a look at CompleteFlags.com. That's CompleteFlags.com.
Whether new construction or remodeling, Stephen Arrington and his team at Elite Custom Construction can design and build your dream kitchen and cabinets, inside and outside. Using high-quality products, Elite Custom Construction specializes in cabinetry and intricate millwork. Established in 2011, licensed and insured, Elite Custom Construction is your solution to your next project. Call Stephen at 601-927-0552 or visit them online at elitecustomconstruction.net.
Doctor, the AC doctor, what's your diagnosis? My whole house was hot as a fever. Now my house frozen, cause my air condition's so. Doctor, my AC's broken. Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
The AC Doctors is your one-stop provider for air conditioning and heating installation, service, and repair. Contact us for money-saving repairs and lower energy bills.
Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
Google the AC Doctors and get some relief today. TheACDR.com.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind with friends and family? El Patrio Mexican Restaurant is calling your name. With locations in Flowood and Cross Gates, Brandon, El Patrio is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Patrio's signature margaritas and happy hour specials that keep their customers coming back for more. Indulge in their authentic Mexican dishes prepared with love and served in a warm, family-friendly atmosphere. Come to El Patrio and taste the traditions. El Patrio, where family, flavor, and fun come together.
If you're a parent or grandparent, you should know that even though Mississippi is ranked as the unhealthiest state in the country, we have the highest vaccination rate for our children and grandchildren. Many of us blindly trust the medical establishment, and now it's time to question vaccine safety. Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights is a grassroots organization working to educate the public and lawmakers about this important topic. Be informed. Go to mpvr.org. Like us on Facebook to stay up to date on the latest information. That's Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights, mpvr.org.
Yeah, it is the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. Phone number, if you want to be part of the program today, is 601-879-0002. Text line is open, 601-879-5060. Eric writes in, is an example of having the weakest leadership in American history for the past 4 years. This is what happens when your borders are flooded with immigrants and no one does anything about it. Yep. But if you think about the plan and how it worked out, it's actually brilliant, because not only did they ransack the United States, but they ransacked Europe too, which are the two easiest places to take over culturally. Like, if the Muslims try to roll up into China or Russia, they're just going to meet an AK or the Chinese knockoff version of it. Whereas in the United States and in Europe, we have diplomacy and we have different set of values. Cultural values. Our values are different, but they all stem from the same book, surprisingly enough. And it's we were talking about it this morning. I think it's 2.2 million illegal immigrants have now been removed from the country. 1.6 million have self-deported, and 600,000 have been caught by ICE. And Trump wants still more per day than what he's getting. Although it's really tough right now. It's tough going in Portland and Chicago. Definitely wants more. We'll see what happens. This is pretty interesting, and I guess it becomes because the Republicans are running the federal government right now. USDA blames Democrats for potential SNAP/EBT benefits lapse in new message. The well has run dry. Millions of Americans relying on federal food and aid could miss November benefits due to the government shutdown, according to the notice posted by the Agriculture Department. Agriculture Department's still out there doing stuff. Democrat leaders are demanding that Republicans come to the negotiating table and end the shutdown. Well, let's just stop that right now. And this has been forcefully put down, but it needs to be put down every chance we get. So this is it. The government could be open right now. Throughout the 2010s and 2020s to this point, everybody's always been whining, complaining, and moaning about a clean continuing resolution. And the Republicans have done just that. In fact, this continuing resolution that is before Chuck Schumer and the Democrats right now in the U.S. Senate is the exact same continuing resolution that they signed and approved of back in March. It's the exact same thing. What the Democrats are trying to do is just make life miserable because people, I mean, it's just we elect a president, we elect a Congress, and we are so poorly educated when it comes to civics. You've got people like AOC and even other senators saying, oh, you guys run the House, you run the Senate, you run the presidency, you guys control everything, not fully realizing the fact that the Democrats who always whine and complain about the filibuster rule are using the filibuster right now to hold the country hostage. Man, Rush used to have that thing, America held hostage, day whatever, of the big lie. Man, I'd like to bring that back just for government shutdowns. I wonder if I can find that. If someone can find that, send me a link, whether it be a DM in Facebook, X, Rumble, wherever. Send me that. That needs to be worked on. Food banks and pantries are bracing for a surge in demand as families struggle to access food. Yes, but will those families be rolling up in beat-up Priuses and 2004 Saturn vans? Or are they going to be rolling up in BMWs and G-Wagons, Escalades, high-end vehicles? I genuinely believe that there are a lot of people who are living way beyond their means who might actually own a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW, but are on food stamps because they don't know how to budget their money, because they didn't go to school and learn how the time value of money works. They didn't get the chance to learn about the value of their own work and skills and what that could mean. I think about it now, the value of me at 53 years old, battling through what I'm battling through. I feel like I'm more valuable today than I was when I was 27, 28, doing F-14 things. I think, I've become a lot more educated, wise. I know it's dangerous to call yourself wise, and I'm not saying that I am wise, but I've just learned things, right? And I try to apply those things in life. It's definitely appearing from everything that I'm seeing. The bias distribution is 53% to the left, or 30% to the left, 53% to the middle, and 17% to the right covering this. So the media is still in this confounded belief that they can sit there and yell and blame Republicans and Trump enough, the people are going to agree to it. But it does not appear to be the case. Even with our favorite pollster, Harry Enton of CNN, he has had a rough go of it. We called him out on his poll the other day, but there were a lot of other content creators, conservatives, and even Democrats who called that one out. It was just too far. It keeps on pushing. They sit there and they have this poll come out, And it's just absolutely devastating to the left, but they'll find the one nugget they can, and then they'll write the main story on that. And all the other parts of the poll, which are absolutely important to the story. I'm not saying that you can't have the Democrat talking point be the lead, but you should at least have the full story there so that you can get the complete picture, which is all that we are really in at this point in life anyways, is people are putting things in front of you for you to believe or not believe. I mean, we talk about the AI and Sora 2. I have a Sora 2 AI video bookmarked, and I've played it for you. It's absolutely staggering. And this isn't even like the high-end stuff yet. We're just now really starting to cook when it comes to AI. We're just now starting to get the ground moving and grooving. There was somebody asking me, do I want to enable voice recognition on my passwords? And I'm like, no. Why would I want voice recognition on my passwords when somebody can sit there and take my voice over the radio, copy it, and then just play it, and all of a sudden now they can unlock my phone. Remember that when with our eyes too? Remember we used to just be able to look at it and we thought it was great, and then all of a sudden the cops started using it to unlock their phones, and yeah, it's not a good idea. Not one of the better ideas. The government's starting to blame each other. We'll see what happens. I still genuinely believe that there's enough good people out there who understand that we have to have the government opened up, but we're not going to be held hostage by the minority. And depending on which stories you want to believe, you would think that the conservative movement is actually growing in America and the liberal contingent is actually shrinking. Yeah. That loss of Charlie is going to hurt for a long time. But this Wednesday night in Oxford, Ole Miss, I hope I said it right, 5 o'clock. Make sure you get there. I hope to see many of you out there. You are listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We will be right back. Hey, everybody. I had to stand up for a little bit. So if the camera's a little bit out of whack, I apologize.
A matchup. Come to FedEx Forum on Wednesday, November 5th at 7 p.m. when your Memphis Grizzlies host the Houston Rockets. Grab your tickets today at grizzlies.com/tickets or visit the FedEx Forum box office.
It's time to fall into savings at Mazda of Jackson. With ball games, road trips, and all the busyness, don't miss a thing. With 2.9% financing for 36 months on a new 2025 Mazda CX-5. Or get 2.9% financing for 63 months on the 2025 CX-90. 1-year maintenance is included on your new vehicle purchase. And take advantage of the pre-tariff inventory that's almost gone. Shop online at MazdaofJackson.com or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road in Jackson.
CBS News brief. Forecasters say Hurricane Melissa could cause catastrophic flooding in Jamaica. It's a Category 5 storm, top sustained winds 160 miles an hour. People who live there have never experienced anything like it.
I think we're definitely going to have this one going to impact us hard.
TSA distributing food to federal workers at the Minneapolis airport on day 27 of the government shutdown. Neil Gosman is with the union representing workers.
Our job is to keep people safe, to keep transportation going. That's our job. And the job of the people in Congress and the job of the people in the administration is to run the country.
CBS's Nancy Cordes reports the U.S. and China appear to be moving closer to a trade deal after weeks of turmoil.
President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping have been trading threats for months. China stopped buying U.S. soybeans and vowed to block sales of rare earth minerals that are crucial to high-tech manufacturing.
CBS News Brief. I'm Steve Kathan.
Pure Air Consultants has always been your go-to for reliable and affordable heating and cooling systems, and now we are offering Day and Night brand to avoid the 25 to 30% increases that everyone is talking about. With Day and Night, Pure Air Consultants professionals can install a reliable system with a 10-year system warranty, and right now receive $20 off on service diagnostic fees. Call us today, 601-939-7420, mypureairconsultants.com.
Hey, freedom lovers, Big River Ballistics in Morton is your one-stop shop for all your 2A needs. From suppressors to everyday carry pistols and everything in between, we've got the gear. Test it at our beautiful facility and stretch out your rifle on our 1,150-yard range. Memberships start at only $40 a month. And hey, veterans, first responders, military, you're getting 10% off everything, including memberships. Visit BigRiverBallistics.com. That's Big River Ballistics, where freedom fires. Big River Ballistics, Morton, Mississippi.
Health has always been reactive, focused on fixing problems as they happen. But with Blue Primary Care, we're taking a proactive approach, working with you to help you understand your health and empowering you to be healthy. It's time to prioritize you, your health, and your life. The results? Less worrying and more living. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue.
What are people saying about Tom's Fried Pies in Richland?
Tom's Fried Pies. And I made the mistake. I ordered one pie. I figured, you know what? I'll try Tex-Mex. It was so good. Man, second go round, I ate the pecan pie. You will need a meat pie and a dessert one. Get both because they are off the hook.
I went to Tom's Fried Pies today, and I'm going back. I tried the taco one, really good. When I go back, I'll bring some home.
Tom's
We send $70 billion a year to Ottawa in tax revenue, in GST, capital gains tax, carbon tax, industrial carbon tax, all of the bullshit taxes that Ottawa levies on us to take our wealth to fund social services. Levies on us to take our wealth to fund social services.
Right there, my goodness gracious. It was trying to get a clip ready and it decided it wanted to have its own idea. Right there, my goodness gracious. I've talked about it a little bit on the show. And it decided it wanted to have its own idea. Just kind of propped it up and just let it sit there. I've talked about it a little bit on the show. I get feedback on this and just kind of propped it up. I genuinely think, but every once in a while, that there is a real move on this and for Alberta, Canada, the province that there is Alberta, Canada, to actually try to become a state for Alberta, Canada, the province that is Alberta, Canada, to actually try to become a state. I was trying to the next year get that video shut off, and but right as we were coming back, I was trying to. That they did an analysis. Get that video shut off, but long story short, they did an analysis. They did an analysis. $70 billion every year. They did an analysis and they sent to Alberta. To Ottawa every year. The capital. To let me just play it for you too. Ottawa, which is the capital.
We send $70 billion a year to Ottawa in tax revenue, in GST, we send $70 billion a year to carbon tax, industrial carbon tax, all of the bullshit taxes that Ottawa levies on us to take our wealth to fund social services.
Wow. Wow, I had to use the Deedle button on a Canadian politician. Wow, I had to use the Deedle button on a Canadian politician. I listened to the first bit of that, and I genuinely didn't believe that it was going to go there. I did Deedle it in time. I listened to the first bit of that. Long story short, genuinely didn't believe this guy. His name is Jeff Rath. I did Deedle it in time. He's sick and tired of the long story short. This guy, his name is Jeff Rath. He's sick and tired of literally are lining up the votes to have that. And I'm going to tell you what, Alberta is an oil-rich are lining up the votes province, to have that. And I'm going to tell you what, state. They've got a lot of oil. They've got a lot of timber. Rich state. They've got a lot of. That's the kind of thing that they've already got a lot of timber hookups ready to go to send all the oil south. And that's the kind of thing that they've already got the. You can bet your bottom dollar to go. That Trump is going to send all the be working south. On that to try to figure that one out. Let's see here. Your bottom dollar that Trump is going to be working on that to try to figure that one out. And let's see here. I asked Brock a question, so I guess we won't get that one today. And I don't see where Grok answered, so I guess we won't get that one
another
today.
Story that I wanted to talk about.
This is another
We've
story.
all talked about global warming.
That
And I always try to
wanted
play
to
the
talk about.
1982 Dan
We've
Rather
all talked
special
about global warming
on this.
And I always try to play the 1982
But I'm not.
Dan Rather special.
Other than to say is that they
on
have
this.
no idea what the heck's going on with global
Other
warming.
than to say is
I
that
know
they
Hurricane
have no
Melissa is
idea
about to do a number to
what the
Jamaica.
heck's going on with global warming. I know
hope they're all
Hurricane
okay.
Melissa is
Praying for
about
them.
to do a number to Jamaica.
But this hurricane season was supposed to be
I
above
hope they're all
average.
okay. Be praying for them.
We read it back in June. I
But
read
this
the hurricane
season
report,
was supposed to be above average.
and it's
We
been
read
very,
it
very
back
quiet.
in June. I read the hurricane report.
Now you can blame the
And
shutdown
it's been very
and the
quiet.
jets not being able to fly, and
Now you can blame
put
the
their
shutdown
chemtrails out
and
there.
the jets not being able to fly and
But it has been a very,
put
very
their
quiet
chemtrails out there.
hurricane season.
But it has been a
Am I wrong?
very, very quiet hurricane season.
I don't think
Am I wrong?
those of us in Mississippi, and I can
don't-
just hear
I
the
don't think-
FEMA and MEMA guys. No, Andy, don't say
Those
it.
of us
Don't
in
jinx
Mississippi,
it.
and I can just hear the
It's been a
FEMA
pretty
and
quiet year so far.
MEMA guys. No, Andy, don't say it. Don't jinx it.
And now
It's been a
comes
pretty
this
quiet year so far.
from Science Alert.
And now comes this.
Southern
From
Ocean is building
Science
a
Alert.
quote burp that could reignite global warming.
Southern Ocean is building a
and it
quote,
actually makes
burp
sense.
that could reignite
The Southern
global
Ocean
warming.
has been dutifully gobbling up
And it
a
actually
century's
makes
worth
sense.
of carbon dioxide and heat
The
released
Southern
by
Ocean has
human
been
activities.
dutifully gobbling up a century's
Damn
worth of
those
carbon
humans.
dioxide and heat
But when we
released by
finally let
human
go
activities.
of our fossil fuel habit, it might come back
Damn
to
those
haunt
humans.
us.
But when we finally let
because
go
all
of our
that
fossil
carbon
fuel habit, it might come back to haunt
that has
us.
been sucked up underneath
Yep, because
Antarctica
all of
is
that
getting ready to
carbon
burp and let a bunch of it out.
that has been sucked up underneath Antarctica is getting ready to burp
So
and
does
let
that
a
mean
bunch
that
of
the
it
trees
out.
are- and the plants are going to live large? They're going to have so much more quote unquote
So does that
food
mean that
to
the trees are and the plants are going to live large? They're going to have so much more quote unquote food to eat.
It goes like this. Human activity continues to increase greenhouse gases emissions, reaching a peak within 70 years.
It goes
at
like
which
this.
point
Human activity
atmospheric carbon
continues to increase
dioxide is
greenhouse
doubled.
gases emissions, reaching a peak within 70 years. At which point,
The one thing that
atmospheric
I
carbon
do have to
dioxide
give credit
is doubled.
to the global warming hoaxers,
The one thing
climate
that I do have to
drama
give credit
people
to the global warming
is at least now
hoaxers
they're setting the goal
The
out there
climate
so
drama-
far
drama
that we'll all
people
be dead by the time
is at least now they're setting the
that
goal
their
out there
claim
so
that
far
won't come
that
true
we'll all be dead
finally
by the
comes due.
time that their claim that won't come true
Rush had
finally
the
comes due.
countdown clock. Al Gore with the fire coming out of his ears and mouth. It
Rush
was
had
hilarious.
the countdown clock.
we
Al
need
Gore
to
with the
continue to
fire
do that.
coming out of his ears and
It
mouth.
just
It was-
can't
it was
be this radio
hilarious.
station or just myself. It's got to be all of us.
We need to continue to do that. And it just
Not
can't
necessarily
be this radio
ridiculing
station
or
or just
mocking,
myself. It's got to
but
be all of us.
pointing out in no uncertain terms
Not
that
necessarily ridiculing
quote
or
unquote
mocking
their truth
but
is not
pointing out
reality.
in no uncertain terms that
We've
quote
got to
unquote
put
their
it out
truth
like that.
is
'Cause
not
if we don't,
quote reality.
you'll see
we've
this
got to put it out
slowly
like that.
start
'Cause
to
if we
get a
don't,
bigger and bigger movement. Heck, we played the Captain
you'll
Planet
see this slowly
cartoon
start
on
to
here
get a
where
bigger and
they
bigger
talked
movement.
about not having kids.
Heck, we played the Captain
That
Planet
people all around the
cartoon
world are
on
your
here
brothers
where
and sisters.
They talked about not having kids.
Think about like a
That
8-year-old kid.
People all
hearing
around
that.
the world are your brothers and
I mean,
sisters.
that's when you're 8 years old and you hear something.
Think about like
that's
an
gospel.
8-year-old kid hearing that. I mean, that's when you're
If
8 years
if we
old and you
think
hear
about
something
when we
that's
are learning
gospel.
stuff, the younger it is that we learn it, the
If
stronger
we
imprint
think
it
about
has
when
upon
we
it.
are learning stuff,
That
the
isn't until you
younger
go to
it
boot
is that we
camp or
learn it,
officer training school.
the
Things
stronger
might change a
imprint
little
it
bit
has
then.
upon it.
But
That
not
isn't until you
bad,
go to
not
boot
bad.
camp or officer training school. Things might change a little bit then. But not bad, not bad.
They've done the simulation, and they've simulated for
done the
1,000
simulation.
years.
And they've simulated for 1,000 years.
And wouldn't you know it, in the next 160 years,
And
we're going
wouldn't you
to
know it,
double our surface
in
warming.
the next
according to this.
160 years, we're going to
But don't
double
worry,
our surface
because after
warming
that 200
according to
years
this.
and all the the humans are boiled off.
But
it
don't
goes
worry,
right back down to
because
where it
after that
was.
200 years and all the humans
And if
are
we're thinking
boiled
about
off,
things in, it goes right back to geography time. If we're thinking about things in geography time, thank you for that, Brother Eric. 1,000 years isn't nothing. 1,000 years is quick. So when we start talking about how we're destroying the earth and everything, I tend to be very cautious with that. I think if we go back 100 years ago, the steam engine, what was the big machine? Now we've got rockets and everything else. We can't even comprehend how far we've come in just 100 years. Excuse me, please. We can't even think about how far we've come in 100 years. Spaceships, cars, trucks, boats. We've had all this innovation and technology basically thrown at humanity. And it's tough. And the example I want to use for this is your teenage son or daughter. Or you can use younger kids. But imagine us growing up when we were growing up, whether that be the 70s, 80s, 90s. We didn't have the access to evil like we do today with our phones. Phone's got a lot of good stuff in it. Weather alerts, appreciate it. All that kind of stuff. But there is so much ugliness and nastiness and meanness on your cell phone. It completely can reprogram a child or a young teenager incredibly quick. And I'm glad to see we're having one of our talks. I'm in a couple different text groups, and one of them was with a bunch of listeners here. And finally, glad to agree that the claim that is made doesn't have to be fulfilled within the lifetime. And that is exactly what Ground News is reporting here. That is exactly what ScienceAlert.com, never heard of it before, but they didn't have any hostile viruses or Trojan horses, so we'll put them in the safe column, and we will try to use Science Alert in the future for any good science stories there. You are listening to the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 103.9 WYAB. We will be right back. And we are back on the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 103.9 WYAB. Just catching up in the text messages and in the chat. Where did the time go? Where did the time go? The comments have been awesome. Andrew, it's interesting how you pull your show prep. It comes together, but it doesn't seem like it's going to work. Well, thank you, Mr. Unknown Texter. I'm glad you like the show. I don't know how it works either. I just find bunches of stories of things that I find interesting that aren't perhaps necessarily in the mainstream news. Look, I know that this is a very sophisticated and intelligent audience. And the big news, if there's something really crazy going on, I know y'all are going to go dig it out. And you might want my opinion on it, and I'd be happy to give that to you. But the truth of the matter is you're looking for stories, and you're looking for something that is a little bit different, that goes after the attack a little bit different way, and points out stories that perhaps you wouldn't have always heard. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're the only radio station in Mississippi that is actively documenting the Islamic takeover of France, England, and Ireland. We've pretty much got that on lockdown, and it's going to be critical. Because if I put myself in their shoes, I'm like, okay, what worked in England, France, and Ireland, and what didn't? We're going to take what worked, we're going to bring it to the United States, and we're going to triple down. That's what I do. We are in a interesting place. You know, the Crusades have been completely looked at in a negative light, have been ridiculed, mocked, scorned, basically painted into being something horrific and terrible. But I think about all the women and children that the Crusades actually ended up saving. Are we going to have another crusade like we had back in the day in Europe again? What would happen to Israel in that point? What would happen to countries like Saudi Arabia, Syria, Egypt? Would they just completely lose their minds and end up going down a path nobody really wants to go down? Could happen. I definitely, the more and more I pay attention to what's actually happening and how I see certain people push the envelope to see how the police and media react, I think it's within a year that you could actually see England completely fall. Within a year. Not even a doubt. My poor Arsenal. Doing so good on top of the Premier League. Take that, City. Take that, United. Tottenham. No one likes Tottenham. Arsenal doing great. Look, we had a great time on the show today. We got to catch up. That third crossover hour with Clay Edwards is always special. We got to talk about the different things running around the nation, whether that be the inclusion of Islamic talking points more into our local politics, or more about feminism. And of course, don't forget the Turning Point USA coming up. We'll talk to you soon.